Oh my goodness. It is Tuesday and it is Tuesday Talks with Wendy. How are you? We are coming into April 21st now. We should be starting to see spring. I know I see it everywhere else on the internet, but I don't know. It hasn't been very much around where I'm living here in Northern Ontario. Winter's hanging on. We woke up this morning to a little bit of snow, and it's been snowing off and on throughout the day, and the sun keeps trying to come through. I am not giving up, though. I am determined to keep thinking that spring is around the corner, and I know because I can still hear the birds singing outside, even though I think they're really kind of cold feet right now. And yeah, I know it's coming. So it's just a little bit of a setback, and that's where we are today. Nothing we can do about it. We just got to take it for what it is. Today, I actually had planned to have one of my Wellness Warrior women on the program today because all this month, we've been doing a feature of our really part of this really incredible group that I belong to of incredible women, of holistic practitioners and all really different types of modalities within holistic practitioner. And that's not the right word. And I wanted to really show them off. I wanted to show off their talents, their gifts, their niches, everything that they had to offer for everybody. I wanted to show them off. But unfortunately today I wasn't able to connect with the last of our group. So I'm going to maybe be able to connect with her next week. This week I was going to connect with her, Darlene Tyndall. And then next week I was going to do a replay of an interview of me, but I'm not gonna. You guys see me all the time, so I'm not gonna do that. I am going to. Maybe I'll post as an extra, but I'm just going to talk to you today. There are some things that have been going on, and I'm hoping that you guys have been watching. I've been on here quite a bit in the last little while. I'm kind of getting very comfortable with this, and this is kind of cool. I like this. I still like to keep this connection going with everybody. I like to, even though we're all kind of isolated right now and in our own homes, I really like to keep this connection. So I'm not going to try and make this too long. I know a lot of my things recently have been a little bit chatty. It's because I guess I've been missing you guys so much that I just been chat. Anyways, I'll just give you a quick overview about what everything has been going on, and then I'm going to talk to you about something that's coming up. So first of all, big exciting news. I'm sure you've seen it all over the Facebook page, is my girlfriend and colleague and peer, Dana Irvine, and I are doing a daily chat. We are getting on first thing in the morning, and we are chatting about whatever comes up in our heads over some coffee. We're going to be having some guests on as speakers as well, and just sitting in our passion and offering all of our information to you. Dana and I are both very passionate about what we do, offering holistic programs to people. She does thermography all over Ontario, but she hasn't been able to do that lately. Me with my live blood, I haven't been able to get out and do that lately, and it's just kind of like I'm kind of walking around the house now looking for my husband and my husband and my son to get a little bit of blood so I can, look at their blood. I'm kind of chomping at the bit myself with regards to that because I just love it. I mean, I love what I do, and I love being able to offer this kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, I've been feeling a little bit guilty because I know a lot of you know that I've been a nurse for 30 years and just recently retired from nursing, but I've been feeling guilty. I've been feeling really guilty. I'm going to cry thinking about it, but that I'm not out there right now. So anyways, because of that as well, I have this desire to be able to give back. Anyway, so I'll get back. Dana and I are doing the 3C club. So coffee, connection, and conversation. We're doing that on a daily basis. So look for that everywhere. It's actually on her Facebook page. It's on my Facebook page. It's going to be on her podcast, and it's actually on my YouTube channel. It's on Instagram. It's all over the place. So you can't miss it. We're kind of like all over the place. What else are we doing? Oh, right now in the private Facebook group, I've got the clean out your pantry party going on. If you guys aren't in there, please head over to the group, join us. It's free. It doesn't, there's no scam with it or whatever. It's just a bunch of like-minded people trying to get, see, there's the cheers, trying to do the same thing. And right now, a lot of us and my friends, a lot of my clients, a lot of my people, we're all kind of feeling that, you know, we've had a bit of time off, we've relaxed, we've sat around in our pajamas, we've gone for days without showering, we're eating chips like nobody's business, we're not exercising properly, we're just kind of, yeah, that forced vacation that we went on over the last little while has come to an end. And a lot of us are going, oh my God, I just want to get back to normal. Yeah, I feel ya. And to get back to normal without getting back to normal is sometimes a little hard. So we're working together as a community in the Transform Your Health with Wendy group to start working towards cleaning out our cupboards, to working on our eating habits, to incorporating some movement into our lives, to doing all these things that are baby steps towards making sure that come June, the end of June and July, we're not 20 pounds heavier, that we get into a routine, that we get into some understanding of that while we're at home, sitting around, that we're not eating, tons of peanut butter and bread all day long, that we're not eating KD and hot dogs all day long. These are things that we maybe have gotten out of used to, and they were like treats before. And we think, oh, well, now we're on vacation, this mandatory vacation, that we can just eat whatever. Well, you know what? If you don't stop and nip it in the bud now, by the time end of June comes along, you're going to be cursing. You're going to be cursing yourself and kicking yourself in the butt, and it's going to be sad. I can guarantee you that, because I actually gone from working every day out of the house to working in the house. I kind of did that myself, and before you know it, you're gonna get into this routine of not working, of not exercising, of not doing a full organized routine daily. And structure gives us freedom. So this is something that I really promote quite a bit. So this is why we're starting this first step, cleaning out our cupboards. Yesterday we looked at all the different sugars that were in our cupboards. Today we're looking at all the different salts that are in our cupboards that can really lead to a lot of health issues if we taking in too much salt. Did you know, and like I still have the stuff here on my counter, even our nice whey protein has 110 milligrams of salt per serving. So you're going to put like one scoop in your smoothies, you're getting a heck of a lot of salt, even when you don't realize you're getting a lot of salt. If you're making your own smoothies, the salt is, it's an issue. Anyways, come on over to Transform Your Health with Wendy and watch my video there, because that's a big, big topic. But anyways, so we've got that going on. I've got really, really, really amazing program right now for our frontline workers. Another thing that I've really noticed a lot on the computer, on Facebook, on Instagram, all everywhere, is the fact that people want to give back. We're thankful, totally grateful to our frontline workers. But, they're getting tired of the teddy bears. They're getting tired of all the flowers and everything else. We can't do that for them. So what do you want to do for them? Well, I've got this program because we need our frontline workers. We need these people to continue to stay healthy, to keep their energy up, to maintain and sustain through this crisis that we're all going through right now. So how are we going to do that? Well, what's the best thing that we can give them? The gift of health. The gift of health. So what I have put together is this amazing little package of grandiose proportions that can have a lot of repercussions for people that are on our front lines, but everybody actually. I'm crying again. But for everybody, because I mean, it works for everybody. Eventually we'll all go back to work, and we all actually have this issue with being able to sustain our energy levels. But right now, like I said, our frontline workers need to stay healthy, and they need to keep their energy levels up so they can do the jobs that they need to do for us. So, Endless Energy program that I set up for people. It is a meal plan. It is a shopping list. It's tips and strategies to be able to really keep their energy levels up so that they can continue doing the job that they need to do. Plus, I've added, I've added in with the package a nutritional consult. So basically, that's what I do on a one-to-one basis, but it's all online. The nutritional consult essentially is a very extensive set of questions that gives me the information of whether there's vitamin, mineral, or systemic imbalances in the body. And from there, I can make really specific supplemental and dietary and lifestyle recommendations for them. But on top of that as well is 20% discount in my online dispensary, which is not something for me at all. It is, I am just the middleman, and I'm not making any money whatsoever. It is just an access to you to get top line supplements and products for yourself, bought online, delivered to your house, no contact. It's simple, easy peasy, and something that we need right now, especially for our frontline workers, because they are busy. They don't have time to run out and do the groceries and do the shopping and run to this place and run to that place and get this and get that and everything else. They don't have time to do that. All their energy has to be focused in on what they're doing for us. And it is a matter of, trying to make it as easy as possible for them. So a nutritional consult usually is about $280. That's usually what I charge for just a plain Jane online nutritional consult. But this package with the 20% discount, as well as the Endless Energy program, which that program in itself is worth about $75. That program altogether is only $59. 59 or 79. I can never remember. Anyways, it's either 79 or 59, or it's either 49 or 59. I can't remember which one it is. Anyways, I'll put a link in comments so you guys can check it out, and it'll tell you exactly the price there, but it's really, really cheap. And like I said, it's an amazing, amazing program, and something that we can actually offer our healthcare workers, our frontline workers, our people that are our family members that may need this extra bit of boost during this time to keep them healthy, keep them active, keep them working for us, because they're doing an amazing job. So that's that Endless Energy Nourish for Life package, Frontline Workers Edition, that I have set up. And like I said, I'll leave a link to those so you can grab that below. Let's see, what else have I got? For those of you that don't know, I know a lot of you maybe perhaps in the my private group know this, but I also offer, and right now I'm not offering it now until mid-May, I believe, a 6-week healthy eating program. It's called New You, Breaking the Vicious Cycle. And this program is an amazing program. Now, before you just kind of roll your eyes and drift off, the thing is, I know there's a lot of programs out there right now. This program is different because this program really addresses the simple fact that we have a bad relationship with food. It looks at, yes, the fundamentals of healthy eating. It looks at your gut health. It looks at movement. But a big chunk of the program, and this is where that breaks the vicious cycle, is your relationship with food. So looking at emotional eating, looking at intentional eating, looking at mindful eating, and really diving a lot into that while incorporating your good foods, while incorporating some joyful movement, and really taking a different perspective, or taking a different look at how it is that you relate with food. This is a very, very important program for people that really want to get off that roller coaster of weight gain and weight loss. Or for people that actually have, or, are very slim, but are not quite healthy and still have a bit of a relationship with food issue. Because even people that are skinny or thin or whatever you want to call it can have a bad relationship with food. Maybe there's a little bit of disordered eating situation there. Maybe there's a little bit of disordered or imbalanced um, exercise program going on, because I mean, there is such a thing as too much exercise. There is such a thing. I mean, when you're going to have one, you're always going to have the other. So if you're going to have, you can have too much exercise or too little exercise. You can eat too much or not eat enough. You can really love food, or you can hate food. I mean, there's always the good and bad on each side. It's not somebody that always has to lose weight. Could be also somebody that needs to gain weight or be healthy or eat healthy, because you're going to have a lot of issues with that. It's not just weight. And that's what I really strive to really encourage people to understand, that yes, you will lose weight on the program, but what you're basically doing by incorporating a really healthy mindset towards food, incorporating some really good foods that work for you. So just not necessarily keto or paleo or macronutrient or whatever. It's what works best for you. It could be intermittent fasting. It could be, and this is how I work with you one-on-one to figure out what works best for you, while following a guide that we work together to tailor to whatever your lifestyle works best for you as well. So um, you're eating a certain way that's really the best way for you, but you're also incorporating that joyful movement, but you're also incorporating that mindset of loving yourself, of allowing your body to be exactly where it is, with kindness, with compassion, with non-judgmental eyes, and understanding that with all that, and taking baby steps always towards the future, your weight will settle into where it needs to be. So somebody that's very, very thin, that's not healthy, may increase some weight with some really good foods. But that weight is going to be that healthy weight for them. Somebody that is a little bit overweight, or even essentially a lot overweight, can start eating a certain way, but incorporating the movement and the mindset, and come into a really a spot where their weight is going to be very balanced and neutral for them as well. So these are going to be very much a very personalized program, but at the same time, not personalized. So I mean, I can give you meal plans all day long. You can get meal plans all day long from anywhere. But the thing is, unless you put the work in and understand the reasons behind a lot of things, and this is where you and I work together. It's a program that I'm offering in group sessions. I offer it online, and it's an extremely, extremely, extremely cheap program. It's $97. And that's the price that I'm going to continue having it for the next year or two, maybe. I'll see. But this is the program that I want everybody to jump on board for and with. And like I said, I can give you all the tools that you need, but the thing is, you also have to do the work. There's no magic bullet. Unfortunately, there's no magic pill. There is no magic when it comes to being healthy. And the only magic that has to come from within you, and you, just putting the work in for yourself. And yeah, so that's my new you. Breaking the Vicious Cycle program. It's just like a 6-week program. And like I said, I'm going to be starting it up in the middle of May. I have to pick a date yet. And I'm going to be ramping up and really talking a lot about it over the next little while to everybody. And like I said, understanding that it's not necessarily a weight loss program, but it's a weight balancing program. How about that? I like that. A weight balancing program. So that is going to be an amazing thing, amazing thing. But I would like you guys to jump over to the Transform Your Health and start. We've already started basically by taking those first steps, those baby steps of cleaning out our cupboards on a daily basis, trying to figure out those foods that are no longer serving us any good, or our family, from a very health perspective, not necessarily even just weight, but from a health perspective. And understanding next week, and this is what I'm going to really talk to you about a little bit today, hopefully not too long, is snacking and cravings. We are going to be learning next week how to, just let me get my, understanding all our cravings a little bit more next week. We are going to be diving into understanding what a sweet tooth is, and looking at our salty tooth too. So a lot of these different things that we crave all the time, sometimes they have meanings, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you just want a potato chip for the fact that it's a potato chip. It doesn't always have to be a big meaning of, oh, I'm craving this, so it means I need that. No. Sometimes it's just an emotional journey. Sometimes it's just what it is. It's a craving. So we're going to look at a lot of these different things over the next week. But we do typically have cravings for certain things. So sweet, salty, crunchy. And then, there's the odd ones that we have, like, oh, I don't even know, thinking of any of the top of. Some people like to chew on ice cubes. Some people like, I don't know, there's a lot of different things. And these are a little bit more disordered issues, which should definitely be looked at from a doctor's perspective. And definitely, some serious blood work should be checked out. But at the same time, we're just going to be looking at the stuff that we have issues with on a regular basis. So your salt, your sweet. So looking at maybe like cereals and grains and sugars, and these actually can be things that we're addicted to. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes these addictions, our body craves them even though we have a food allergy to them. So it's kind of a backwards kind of situation. So if you crave things like cereals and grains and sugars, you may be actually addicted to them, but it could also be um, an allergy response as well. So people with food addictions may have symptoms like headaches, insomnia, irritability, mood swings, and depression. But you crave these things as well too. So they can actually help relieve the symptoms only temporarily, and they can, but your body craves them at the same time. So when I was a child, I used to get upset stomachs quite easily. My mom used to not laugh at us, but we used to, my brother and I used to go through something called Gaviscon. I don't even know if it's on the market anymore, or Dival, quite a bit, just to settle our stomachs. I don't know, maybe we're both nervous kids. I don't know. But I used to drink a lot of milk as well as a child. And when my stomach was upset, high acidity, I would drink a lot of milk and these milky products. And eventually came to the point where it was almost, I needed it. It made me feel good, even though I didn't have an issue going on at the time. It was almost like my brain's chemistry was telling me that I needed that feel-good feeling of the relief that milk and different things were giving me. And if I didn't have a milky product, that my stomach would get upset, even if I didn't have anything in my stomach to be upset about, like, or a food issue going on. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to explain. But like I said, this is very, very generalized craving situation. So pretty much like craving carbs. Carbs are one of those things that a lot of us are craving right now because we're all stressed. We are stressed and we're confused and we're angry and we're upset and we're craving love. So what do we go towards? Carbs, because carbs give us that boost of serotonin, that really feel good neurochemical that really is It literally does make us feel better for a short amount of time. So people with food cravings actually get that boost of um, serotonin when they actually take in the foods that they want. That neurochemical and hormonal imbalances trigger these cravings because you want to have that food a little bit more. You want to have that feel good serotonin boost each time. So a craving, you might think that a craving is like a serotonin deficient situation, but it's not. It's just your body's tricking you to get that boost that you want, and it's like an opioid boost. It's and they've really related it on the same levels as and other addictions that go on in our bodies. So we really can say it's not your fault, because your body's just kind of taking over and doing its own thing. And then when we sit down to a plate of pasta with garlic bread and a glass of wine, all these carbs are so incredibly good, boost our serotonin levels and makes an imprint. And that imprint is there because it's like, oh, that's a happy thing. And it relates it to the carbs. And so you want more carbs and you want that boost, and you want more carbs and you want that boost. It's a never ending kind of cycle. So you want to really try to identify and eliminate some allergens perhaps that you might be not paying attention to. And one of the big ones is gluten. And this is where we get a lot of our carbs, unfortunately. Your wheat, your rye, your oats, most oats. Technically, oats are gluten-free, but most oats are processed in a plant that is with other wheat products, so they get cross-contaminated. So that's why oats are considered not gluten-free. And milk products are another one that we really have these mild underlying food allergens that we've kind of gotten used to. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I mean, the whole, I used to joke when I used to go out and go for fast food, and I would say, it's a really good laxative. Well, there's an issue there. I mean, if you go out to eat fast food restaurant and you gotta poop 20 minutes after you eat it, there's an issue. That's not a funny joke. That's what I used to think was a funny joke, but now it's like, no, there's an issue there. That body doesn't want this food. It's trying to eliminate it as fast as possible. It's stimulating that peristaltic mechanism in the bowels to get this crap literally out of you as fast as it can. It doesn't want to have to absorb, first of all, because there's no nutrients in it anyways, but it doesn't want to have to absorb all the bad stuff that's in it. So plus, I mean, it could be like there's some sort of food allergen or something going on, the gluten, the processed additives and chemicals and different things that might be in fast foods, whatever it is, whatever it is. Everybody's going to be individual and have individual results, obviously. And this is where you talk with somebody like me for those one-on-one situations to figure out the root cause of what's going on. Anyways, getting back to my list of serotonin boosters, another one is alcohol. So yeah, there's that addictive quality of alcohol as well. So you might want to try to avoid it a little bit. Avoiding stimulants like caffeine drinks, cigarettes, or amphetamines. Again, coffee might be one of those things that is going to be a stimulant, yes. You're definitely going to have a headache if you try to get off of it or wean yourself off of it too fast, because your body doesn't want you to give it up. Depending on the coffee itself, I mean, it's not a bad thing to hang on to, but you want to just keep your limit your intake, to 1 or 2 a day. You want to try to increase your exposure to bright light and sunlight at least 1 or 2 hours a day for a myriad of different reasons. One of them specifically and scientifically is for that vitamin D production in your body, as well as just because it just gives you that really wonderful glow that really cleans the lungs out. It gives you that nice sunlight on your face, that feeling of outside, which is so therapeutic. You want to try to get at least 60 minutes of moderate, joyful movement into your life. thereabouts anyways, on a daily basis, and make sure that you try to get enough sleep. So these are kind of like the checklist of things that you want to do on a daily basis for anything that you want to improve in your life. But, just take it with a grain of salt and understand that 60 minutes might not be part of what your daily routine is like. Even trying to get enough sleep sometimes is hard. So, really just taking baby steps. And like I said, in my private group, we're taking baby steps, by looking at what foods we have in our cupboards that maybe have a little bit too much salt, not breaking it down and saying, cut out all processed foods. But okay, so we'll take a little bit of this out because this processed food is not as healthy as perhaps this one that you could buy. Something like that, baby steps, to get an overall big, lifelong, sustainable kind of actions towards healthy living. So, although it may not be proven to be helpful, certain stimulants may help with cravings as well. So, 5-HTP is one of those things that it's amazing adaptogen that can be used for a lot of different things. Cravings, I guess, is one of them. I use it and have used it in the past for mood balancing, as well as, yeah, I guess food cravings as well. I kind of feel if I'm feeling good, then I'm not craving food to make me feel good, kind of thing. Ginkgo biloba is another one that's really good for helping stimulate, help decrease this cravings. St. John's wort, vitamin B6 sometimes is a little bit deficient in the body, and that's where you want to get in to have a nutritional consult where you can determine whether your B6 is a little bit low. And B6 is that actual drug that is our helps with our happiness hormones. So if our B6 is low, then it's not allowing enough serotonin to be produced in our bodies. And this is where we're feeling a little bit sad. And then we go towards the foods that we think that are going to boost that serotonin up. So these are different things that you might want to keep in mind, and definitely have somebody like myself come in and check out to see whether you're might be a little bit deficient in those areas. So you can supplement as a result. It's also very important to figure out whether your craving is psychological or physiological too. So looking at the perspective of whether it's actually your body that's hungry, or it's your mood that's hungry, or what you're hungry for. Physical cravings may come as a result of low fat intake or low blood sugars as well. So a lot of times as I'm making supper, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so hungry right now. And people have a tendency to snack while they're making supper. Well, this is more times than not, it's probably a low blood sugar situation or low thirst. So you're in the kitchen and you're not thinking about it. Try drinking a glass of water, just down it. Give yourself about 20 minutes as you're cooking, and then see how you feel. See if you're still craving that piece of bread, or you're still craving something right then and there. If you can, maybe if you're just looking for something to do, like munch on, just grab a little bit of carrots and munch on those until you get to your dinner. Just some ways that you can really tell and help yourself from, eating the ends of the breads when you're making a bruschetta or something like that, or whatever it is that you're snacking on, a mouthful here, a mouthful there, and then sit down to a big meal. You're eating almost 2 meals, unfortunately, and this is where this extra weight creeps on, and we don't realize it, thinking that, well, I only have 3 meals a day, or I only eat this, or I only did that. It's those little bits of extra bits. It's the portion sizes as well. So understanding that having 2 cups of rice on your plate as opposed to maybe half a cup or 1 cup of rice is going to make a big difference in your calorie count, as well as the carb intake and different things. So you want to really, if you're going to have large portions of something in your plate, make sure that they're very nutrient dense and they're low in calorie, as opposed, I'm not saying never have rice, I'm not ever saying never have potatoes or any of these carb foods, but have smaller portions of it, and then make bigger portions of your low calorie, nutrient dense foods like your greens, your salads, your proteins, and all these different things, your good fats, that are going to be very much filling you up, sustaining you, but still um, not giving you the impression that you're missing out on anything by not having something specifically like your carb. Um, and and snacking throughout the day is also very important for a lot of reasons too, because you want to keep that blood sugar up. You don't want it to decrease to the point where you are, hangry and you're just snapping at everybody, and you're grabbing the first thing that you see to eat and put, just shove in your mouth because you just whatever. Having a yogurt, a piece of fruit, a small handful of nuts. These are all really good ways to keep your blood sugars stable and keep you going until you can sustain yourself. Um, my table is very full right now. My desk is very full, but a lot of times I'll have a small little bowl of almonds and small little pieces of dark chocolate. Now, I've kind of cut my chocolate out. I do crave it every once in a while, but dark chocolate is actually very, very good for you. It's high in antioxidants. It gives you a boost of caffeine as well. So at mid-afternoon, it's always kind of a nice thing to have. It's low in sugar, but you're still getting a nice flavor of chocolate. Now, if you don't like dark chocolate, and I was never one to like dark chocolate, it is a bit of something to you work up to the flavor of dark chocolate, but it's an acquired taste. So that's what I meant. But I mean, you don't want to have to ever give up all chocolate altogether. I mean, why would you want to give up chocolate? You just work towards a different version of it, and you change your palate a little bit. So you're not depriving yourself, you're tricking yourself, you're tricking your mind. You're also getting something really good for your body, because the antioxidants and the caffeine are really good for you to sustain you throughout the day. And you mix it with a little bit of nuts, so you're getting your good fats, you're getting some fiber. It's a win-win situation, and you're not feeling deprived about not having or being able to have chocolate. Same goes with something like sugar. Now, you can modify your sweet tooth. You can, and it's taken a long time to do it, but when my last batch of stevia ran out for my coffee, and that's pretty much the only time I use the stevia, I started going without. So just black coffee. No, it was not black coffee. Actually, it's just sugarless coffee. So coffee without and cream, and that's all I have in my coffee now. And it took me a while, and there was a couple of days when I'm like, no, gotta have sugar today. And I didn't have any stevia, so I would have a wee little bit of sugar just to get that taste. But it's a matter of like weaning yourself off of and coming down slowly, and getting your taste buds accommodated or adjusted to not having that sweetness, and then you don't crave it so much. I love a sweet, creamy coffee. There, I said it. But the thing is, I know this is not good for me. And I know that if I allow myself to have that at all times, it's not going to be good to me. And so like I said, I've switched my taste buds up to the point now where I just have cream in my coffee, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the taste. I'm adjusted to it now, and I actually still have my coffee now with just cream in it, and I don't have any stevia. Every once in a while, I might get a flavoring of some kind and put it in some essential oil that is food grade, and put it in just to switch it up because I like flavored coffee, but I don't want the extra sweetness. I just want that flavoring in it. And then every once in a while, you got Baileys you can put in there too. But that's for special occasions. And actually, I had one of those the other day, and I actually found it a little too sweet, which it was kind of nice to come to that realization, because now I know that I don't need to have it. Again, when our food cravings are coming on again, sometimes emotions plays a really, really big part of that. So as I started off this whole video today, stress is one of the big ones. Anxiety, frustration, loneliness, a lot of these things, boredom. one of the big ones, for feelings that can really trigger cravings, to go looking for that milk chocolate, to go looking for those nuts, um, salty nuts, um, to the chips, to the breads, pizza, all these different things that are very much to be used as treats. So how do we cope with this? So if you're not physically hungry, obviously you're gonna want to figure out whether it's emotions or physical hunger that you're feeling. First of all, if you're just feeling like something and you just don't know what it is, go brush your teeth. Like seriously, just go brush your teeth. Swish around some Listerine in your mouth. I can pretty much guarantee you your cravings are going to be gone. Whoop, like that. You're going to want to distract yourself as well. So take your time, take yourself out of the situation for about 45 minutes. Try to shift that energy. Turn on the music loud. Wiggle your ass a little bit or a lot. Feel the music. Get out of your head a little bit and just see what happens. If you're still feeling that craving afterwards, then fine, have it. No big deal. You can exercise if you want, or you can go outside and sit in the chair if you want, or you can go for a walk, or you can go for a swim, or you can jump up and down, do some jumping jacks. Just something to shift that energy a little bit, to get your mind out of the craving mode. Maybe you can actually relax. Like I said, go outside, sit in the deck chair, take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, meditate a little bit or not. You're just shifting that energy. You're just getting yourself out of that situation. Choosing a healthy substitute. So still having that thing, just like I was telling you about with the dark chocolate and the almonds. Just having a nice alternative to it, a healthy alternative to it. So I'm not a big fan of fat-free stuff, but I mean, if this is something that you want to go towards, then definitely some fat-free stuff. I would say something more along the lines of a dairy-free ice cream, a sugar-free ice cream, but not fat. Fat is good for you. Frozen yogurt is always a nice one. Or sorbet. Oh my goodness, the sorbet is so nice. Nice raspberry, just so potent of a taste that it just is amazing. You can look at alternatives too. I mean, as opposed to potato chips, you can maybe look towards sweet potato chips. You can make your own, or you can bake some tortilla chips without the extra salt. You can use rice cakes. I mean, we've been eating a lot of rice cakes in the house the last little while because my husband gets these cravings. I don't know if it's cravings or it's just an automatic thing that he likes to have something crunchy after meals. He likes his chips, and he could eat a big meal and then turn around and open a big bag of chips. I mean, you don't get much in a bag of chips nowadays, and eat the whole thing too. So I have these rice cakes that actually are a little bit salty, but they're a lot more healthy for him. And so he takes those in as opposed to chips now. It's the substitutions. It's the little things. And you want to maybe try to avoid having stuff in the house, because you know that your cravings are coming on. A friend of mine I was talking to the other day with regards to that, she feels that she's literally addicted to chocolate. So she knows that she cannot have it in the house because the craving, the need, the desire, it just overcomes her, and she cannot control herself, literally. So she knows that she can't have that in the house because she will just devour all of it, all in one shot. And this is, sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes we can't get past that. Understanding that maybe there's some psychology behind it with regards to why she's having that craving, but that's okay. She just knows at this point in her relationship with chocolate that she cannot be around it, and that's perfectly fine. It's just like people. Some people, we know that we can take in small doses and it doesn't bother us, or we know that we can handle all day long, even though that we know that they're not good for us. But then there's situations that we just know we cannot be around that person. That's it. That's all. And you just have to make those boundaries for yourself and understand. You don't have to even understand why. You just know that those boundaries are there, and that's where you're at right now with that situation. And that's perfectly fine. You're always going to want to try to keep your water intake up, because a lot of times hunger and cravings are a signal of thirst, and we already talked about that. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Um, I'm not a big believer in deprivation. So if you really want to have something, have it. You know, go for it. But you understand. You are your own um, advocate. You are your own worst enemy as well. You know what is good for you and what is not good for you. If you find that you need help with figuring out why things are not good for you, or why you can't stop, or why you cannot control those cravings, then that's where you come to a professional and you get accountability. You get really good help with stuff like that. But that's not even a guarantee that you'll ever stop, but it'll just give you a better understanding about why and how, and all these different things that are going on in your body, and give you an opportunity to heal from there. Because it is a broken relationship that so many of us have with food, that is hard to get past. It's like a bad relationship. I mean, at some point in our lives, we've all been dumped. At some point in our lives, we've loved and lost. And understanding that we have to continue a relation, we have to continue with food in this lifetime. We're going to have to learn how to have and create a proper relationship with food, because it's not like we can stop eating. It's not like we can just take off the rings and say to hell with you. It's not like we can go there. So we have to figure out a happy balance with our relationship with food, and how it affects us, and how we relate to it, and how we use it to ourselves. So we can either use it in a bad way, and as a result be unhealthy, imbalanced, acidic, um, as a result, or we can use it as a tool to really maintain our health, to balance out our weight, to energize us, to fulfill us, to sustain us, to give us, maintain us, to give us all the wonderful things that it's supposed to be giving to us, the fuel of life. These are things that we want to receive from food, but so very often are lacking, unfortunately. And we have this really love-hate relationship with food, and it's really, really hard. So I'm going to cut it off there. I'm really, really, really hoping that you enjoyed this one. I wasn't planning on this one, and sometimes one of the ones that are, when they're not planned, those are the best. So I love you. If you want to know more about this kind of stuff, head over to our Transform Your Health with Wendy group, and I'll hook you up. And I'll give you the links to all those programs that I mentioned earlier in the show today, and we'll go from there. Take care.